All right, America, it's time for the Ringside Wranglers Wrestling Report with your hosts, Haz-Bin and Jack Jaw.
What's up, wrestling fans? I'm Jack Jaw with the Ringside Wranglers Wrestling Report. Guess who I'm with? I'm with Haz-Bin. What's up?
What's going on, man? I like that open. Don't wear a thong, Patty McFatty. It doesn't work too well. That's good stuff. Yeah, I want to apologize for my appearance tonight, Mean Gene, but I've been running 6 miles a day for the past 7 days on my real job, if you will. So I'm on location today. But there wasn't nothing going to stop me from talking about the greatest professional event in the world today, and that's professional wrestling. So here we are.
That's right. Well, you know you were talking about thongs. You know who wears thongs? Producer Punk. Don't ask me how I know that, but he does. Well, I'm Jack Jaw with the Ringside Wranglers Wrestling Report. We come to you weekly with news from the WWE. We cover Raw, NXT, SmackDown. We talk about AEW, and we always talk about independents. This week, we got a cool story. Independents coming back online. Stay with us to the end. We've got details on a live show coming on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. So stoked about it. We'll cover it at the end. Stick around. Top of the news, WWE, the Raw show on Monday night. What a great week. Great week. Great week. Great week. Start the week with Raw. This week you got Randy Orton coming off his win over Rated R Superstar. Rated R Superstar's friend Christian comes out. Looks like Christian hasn't been released yet. They're going to do this match. Challenge him to a match. What they call that match? It's like nobody can get in trouble. WWE releases him to wrestle.
Right.
I don't know what you call it. But either way, these two guys, they talk smack all night long, and you're wondering if Christian is going to fight him.
Hold homeless agreement is what it's called. That means that if Christian gets his ass whipped, you can't blame the WWE.
And that's exactly what they did. They called it an unsanctioned match. That's what they called it. I was like, oh, brother, here we go, unsanctioned match. So there it is. They say later on tonight, Christian is going to decide whether he's going to fight him. You know he's going to fight him. They're not going to get to the end of the show and say, no, thank you. But either way, stick around to the end of the Raw. You'll see that happen. Next up, you had Kevin Owens against Angel Garza. Good match. I was beginning to worry that Kevin Owens was starting to be on the downward spin, but at least he gets the win this week. He defeats Angel Garza via the pinfall after a stunner. I love the way he continues to build on that Stone Cold move. Either way, that's pretty much his signature. Then you got Bobby Lashley coming out. If you didn't see this coming a million miles away, Bobby Lashley out there with MVP. He's just standing there shaking his head. You could tell he's really ticked off. Next thing you know, he says, Lana, I want a divorce. And it was just like, they didn't play it too well on TV. I thought it would have been bigger, but there you go. Looks like Lana and Bobby Lashley headed for divorce. What was your take on that one?
Where's Rusev at?
Divorce
Rusev, now you divorced Bobby Lashley, man. She's like a third owner used car, man. I'm not sure if I want to buy that.
No doubt. 2 marriages down the tubes. Next up, pathetic match. Viking Raiders and Street Profits been battling for weeks doing these stupid golf tournaments, decathlons, fighting ninjas. Well, this week they're actually fighting the ninjas from Kira Tozawa's Ninjas. Viking Raiders and Street Profits get the win over the ninjas. Just week on top of week on top of week after week after week. It's not good for me. I don't.
All right,
Go ahead.
I want to know the big bowed up guy in the ninjas. Is that Night Titus O'Neil? Yes or no? Because he sure looks like Titus O'Neil to me.
It probably is. It probably is. Who let the dogs out?
That's we'll wait for him to get a push and come back.
Yep, maybe so. I mean, that's Titus O'Neil was never used up to the par that he could be. Either way, that's probably right. Titus O'Neil. I remember when they showed him in the parking lot at Backlash, I was thinking he was Shaquille O'Neal. He just looked huge. The way they put him in the camera angle, I was going, that guy's big. But either way, Viking Raiders and Street Profits get the win over the Ninjas.
It's double O'Neal. It's either going to be Titus or Shaquille.
Yep. Now when you see him on TV, Shaquille's bigger than that. So it's not Shaquille. But either way, next up you had Mysterio continue his angle with the Monday Night Messiah. He brings him out there. Monday Night Messiah is talking to him. And then you knew this was coming. Well, second you saw Mysterio without Dominic, and he's worried about Dominic showing up and doing something. That's exactly what happens. Dominic lays out the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, before his goons could get there and save him. So it looks like they're going to swerve us when Dominic finally turns and joins the Monday Night Messiah. What you think on that one?
Absolutely. D-Nick's going to join the Messiah. D-Nick's going to be a disciple. I promise you he will.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I love it. I love when Rey Mysterio just gets pushed down and squashed. Not a big Rey Mysterio fan. I'll always remember.
Kevin Nash throwing him like a dart on Nitro that night into the.
That's it. Best moment in to me, Rey Mysterio's career. Best moment in his career. Got thrown like a dart into the side of a trailer of all things. Next up, you had the Iconics taking on Liv Morgan and Natalya. Of course, Iconics are going to win. They're staging themselves to fight for the titles against Bayley and Sasha Banks. That's coming next week, and we'll get more story on that one. But the Iconics get the win over Liv Morgan and Natalya via pinfall. Iconics! You got to like the Iconics. Who knows? Next up, Apollo Crews taking on what is Shelton Benjamin? What is his role? I mean, it's like he goes away, comes back. They must pay him by the show or something. He can't be under contract for a little. He comes back. He's still a pretty good athlete, but they put him in different stories just for like one Monday night, and then he wrestles this and gets beat. Second he comes out, you get no boy, he's going to win it. But Apollo Crews gets the win there, and then funny angle going on. MVP's in the back it looks like MVP's trying to build a stable. He's got Bobby Lashley. Looks like he may be going after a tag team soon. He's trying to get Apollo. Apollo just says, no, thank you. He says, well, then MVP's like, well, look forward to losing the belt, because without me, you're going to lose the belt. You like MVP? No?
Absolutely. And I know he's got Bobby Lashley, and he's got those Australian guys on NXT that those big guys that tag team. He's got them in his stable too. So yeah, he's going MVP. A lot of people think that he's washed up as a performer, but he's using his talents as you don't want to say he's a manager. He's more like a Paul Heyman advisor, and he's really good in that role. I really would have liked to have seen Bobby Lashley take the strap that night, but things will happen. It's just taking time.
Yep. Next up, match they built early in the night, going back and forth. Drew McIntyre, MVP, R-Truth, and then MVP worms his way in there to get everything is on the line. The 24/7 title's on the line. The WWE Championship's on the line. But once they put all that together, I said I could see R-Truth maybe losing it and messing it all up for Drew. But that would be a terrible, terrible spin on it. So it doesn't go that way. Drew McIntyre and R-Truth get the win. So there they are. They keep both of them keep their belts. So that was a pretty good build-up, I thought. Pretty decent.
I'm looking forward to Monday. I don't want to spill the beans because I know we still have to get to that. But in order for Raw to get back to the way it used to be when it was Raw as War and it was the Monday night dominations on Nitro, we'll talk about it later, but I'm going to go on the record to say right now, every single champion that will put their title on the line Monday, tomorrow night, if you will, needs to lose. There needs to be a clean sweep, all new champions tomorrow night. And if that happens, Raw, in my opinion, will go back to the way of Raw as War. It will be wild, it will be fresh, and it'll be #1 trending in the U.S. on Twitter and everything. And everybody's going to want to see it. That's my opinion.
Man, you got my interest peaked on that one. I never thought of anything like that. That would have to be the first time something like that would ever happen. All titles change hands.
And it should happen. It's that drastic that it needs to happen. And I could see every single one of those champions losing for a reason. It all makes sense to me. And you end up getting, D-Nick to join the disciples and all this stuff. And they'll have all this change. And next thing you know, everybody's going to start talking about Raw again like they did whenever you had the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah,
that's my fantasy booking.
So that would be a definite stamp of Bruce Pritchard doing the writing. All titles change hands on Monday Night Raw, June 22nd, 2020. First time ever all titles change hands. Haz-Bin's calling it. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. Next up, main event of the night. Yeah, Raw Women's Championship. Osaka against Nia Jax. A replay, repeat, whatever you want to call it, from Backlash. Osaka. Backlash ended where they were both double count out. This one, Osaka actually gets the win via pinfall. So Osaka keeps the belt. Nia Jax does not have a good record against Osaka. So we'll see what happens with that if Nia Jax stays relevant to the women's Monday night title. Either way, that was sort of the main event because you didn't know for sure if Randy Orton and Christian were going to go at it. But yes, indeed, they do. They have the unsanctioned match. Out comes Ric Flair. I wasn't expecting that. I guess Ric Flair was on early tonight with Charlotte, so he was at the show. Ric Flair comes out there saying, "You don't have to do this, Christian. You don't have to do this. Your legacy is set. You don't have to do this." Little did I know. I mean, you probably predicted it. I didn't predict it because you know Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. He does his dirty deeds again. Nut shot to Christian, lays him out, and then his head gets punted by Randy Orton, just lays him out. You saw it coming a million miles away, didn't you?
Man, I got a good friend of mine. We've been friends for years, and he told me this probably 20 years ago. He says he likes to email Ric Flair, and he'll say, "Hey, Rick, how's it going? What you doing?" And Ric Flair responds, "Oh, nothing." That's his favorite thing to do. Throw the low blow. Dirtiest player in the game.
Lays him out. That next shot, check the next shot. There he is in a neck brace. Randy Orton, I guess maybe it'll be a Edge / repeat insert Christian maybe. Who knows? I can't see that one going too far because Christian is not anywhere near the athlete Edge is at this point in his career. So it's pretty funny laid him out. So that was the end of the night on Raw. Randy Orton staring over a brace-ridden Christian. Either way, I thought it was a pretty good Raw show. Fans are making it a little bit better. The plexiglass doesn't really do it for me, but either way, Raw was pretty good this week. Next up, Wednesday night, NXT. We'll cover the big matches that happened there. You had the NXT Tag Championship match that was set up last week with Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango taking on the Imperium, Marcel Barthel, and Fabian Aichner. Imperium gets the win. I thought that would have been a stretch for Fandango to get the title 1 week onto the show. But either way, good match. I like the Fandango and Breezango, I like it. Either way, Imperium keeps the belts. Next up, Damian Priest. What a beast. That dude right there gets the win over Killian Dane. And then Aaliyah over Xia Li. That was whatever. Take it or leave it. Go to the bathroom match there for me. Dakota Kai over Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter, look at these eyes on this chick. Check them out on this next one right here. She's got some evil-looking eyes. Who was the lady that used to be on Raw? That was the wrestler.
That would be Ember Moon.
That's it, Ember Moon. Is that her right there?
Ember Moon. Yeah. No, but Ember Moon had the red contacts or whatever it would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, look, if you look at, I look back in history, the NXT literally splits the number of matches, the number of men matches and the number of female matches. It's always identical. It's 3-3, 4-4, 2-2 with a bunch of interview stuff. So either way, this week, again, 3-3. Next up, Bronson Reed over Leon Ruff. That dude's the big beast. This dude right here is calling out Karrion Kross. What are you doing, dude? Karrion Kross is not going to mess with you. And then the main event of the night, you had a cross-brand match over from SmackDown. You had Bayley and Sasha Banks taking on Blackheart, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox. Did you really think they were going to win? No. You know the bigger match is Bayley and Banks fighting the Iconics on Monday night, and that's exactly what will happen on Monday. So check it out tomorrow night. There's one of the matches that Haz-Bin says that the title's going to change hands. Iconics. So
put it on them.
That'd be kind of
cool. The Iconics. They deserve it. Hey, they beat those two ladies at WrestleMania. Iconics beat Bayley and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania for those titles.
Yep.
Can't say it won't happen again because it will. I'm telling you, Jack, you champions tomorrow night, Monday night, if you will, put the strap, put the title, whatever word Vince says you can put it around all new people's waists, and I promise you, the ratings are going to skyrocket up. It's going to be the new flavor of the month, the new talk of the town.
I like.
Sometimes you need to freshen it up, brother.
They got it. You got it. That's what that one right there for sure. I would say that's a better than a 95% chance the Iconics win the belt right there. Win the belt tomorrow night. On to SmackDown. Friday night SmackDown. Always a pretty, to me, obviously their marquee brand, their marquee show. Still performing from the Performance Center. Minimal crowd, but hey, decent show. AJ Styles starts off the night this week where he's out there celebrating his Intercontinental Championship win. And then they didn't waste any time getting Matt Riddle involved. Matt Riddle comes out there and challenges him. I was wondering if Matt Riddle is going to continue to wear the no shoes, and of course he does. And Matt Riddle actually gets the win over AJ Styles in a non-title match. Daniel Bryan out there to congratulate him. Pretty good debut for Matt Riddle on SmackDown. What'd you think of that one?
Well, as soon as he won that match, the first thing I thought of was when Kevin Owens, as the NXT champion, beat John Cena.
Yeah, I remember that.
Beat him.
Yep.
Monday night. And this is that's when you know, just like they had a lot of faith in Kevin Owens, this is how you know they got a lot of faith in Matt Riddle. They really want the guy to work. I mean, he's probably going to have to win over the SmackDown crowd. I know the NXT crowd loves him. I'm still kind of getting used to him, but the guy's tremendously athletic. I found out that he has a lot of amateur background, really good upper body strength, really very good condition, really good looking body. I could see him winning some championships, definitely. I don't know how well the no shoes will work. I mean, Rusev tried that, hurt his feet, and he quickly got in boots. So, but Matt Riddle said he's been doing that all his life. So if he feels comfortable doing it, I mean, Kevin Von Erich did it all his life, all his career. So I mean, sometimes it works.
Kevin did it. Kerry didn't do it because Kerry, if he did it, his wouldn't be attached.
Right.
Yeah. His boot.
Yeah, half of his ankle came off. Yeah.
That was one of those things you never knew. You never knew. Things you never knew about pro wrestling. Kerry Von Erich with a wooden foot. Who knew that? That's some trivia right there. Next up, you had Jeff Hardy out there, talking about his loss to Sheamus, getting all somber and stuff. And then you got to love Sheamus saying, hey, next week, tune in. I'm going to have a toast to Matt Hardy next week. That's just pushing the envelope right there. Alcohol and all. Toast to Jeff Hardy, I should say. What am I talking about, Matt? I'm talking about Matt because Matt's on my phone right now.
Right.
A Father's Day message to a friend of mine. Did you get that? I got to send that to you. Matt Hardy sent a special video message to our good buddy. I got to send that to you for Father's Day. Either way, it's Matt Hardy, but it's Jeff Hardy. Sheamus, toast to Jeff Hardy next week. That ought to be good. What you think?
Yeah, he's going to get. My sources tell me that he's getting some Guinness piped in directly from Dublin. It's going to cost him a lot of money, but he wants to do it because that's how much he cares for Jeff Hardy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, all new champions. D Nick ends up joining the Disciples, and then you got fresh Guinness straight from Dublin for an alcoholic. Man, that's gonna be a hell of a Monday Night Raw. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be tight. That's gonna be tight. Either way, that's on SmackDown. Either way. Next up, Shorty G. This is the mid-card match. Shorty G versus Moho Rawley. I'm like, whatever, dude. Shorty G. I kind of like his little persona, smaller guy, but he's a great wrestler, no doubt, great performer, but just bad angles. Maybe he would be better as a heel. I don't know. But either way, Shorty G gets the win over Mojo Rawley. Next up, I thought this was a pretty good angle. Mandy Rose is on Miz TV. Everybody's wanting to find out what's the latest on her and Otis. Pretty good deal there. Out comes Sonya Deville to confront her. Sonya Deville she's improving on her mic. She's improving on her presence in the ring and run-ins and stuff with Mandy Rose. I like it. What you think? Are you shaking your head? You don't like it?
I think Sonya Deville is a somewhat attractive lady. I mean, I know that she's a lesbian and all that, but you don't have to dress the woman up to make it obviously to Ray Charles, God bless his soul, can see that she's a lesbian. I mean, she is an attractive lady, and unless she chose to do that, I don't like her coming in there looking like James Bond in the all black or like John Wick or whatever in the all black. I mean, yeah, we do understand that she's homosexual or whatever, but you don't have to make that clear unless she chose to do it. I didn't like that. I mean, she's a fairly attractive lady. I mean, whatever. I don't know what else to say. It rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. But either way, I like it to continue. That's the angle that's been around going for a little while, and I'm not tired of it yet. So it looks to be good. Who knows? I don't like when they mix it up when it's Otis and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and what's his name. So I'm not a big fan of that one when they go that far, but I like the female on female angle there. Next up, you had New Day versus Lucha House Party. Do you even remember that? I had to look this up just because I've been following it weekly, but I had completely forgot the New Day have the belts. I mean, it shows you how little that they're even pushing these guys with the belts. I guess it's not going to really be relevant until their partner, the third man, comes back from New Day. I'll be stoked about that one. He's been out for a while on injury. So, what's your take on this one?
I don't know when Woods is coming back. I mean, it must have been a pretty bad injury if Woods has been out this long, because I know they've been showing him and he's chomping to get back. But I mean, it must have been a pretty severe injury he suffered. Yeah.
Next up, Sasha Banks takes out Nikki Cross. This was a match, I guess. Man, you think about it, Sasha Banks fight 3 times this week.
Charlotte Flair did it.
Yeah. Charlotte went on any shows this week. How you like that one? So
she deserves a vacation. I mean, she busted her butt.
Yep. So Sasha gets the win. And then this was an angle you could have seen coming a million miles away. Braun Strowman, you thought it was done. He had the match with Bray Wyatt back. When was that? Back in Money in the Bank. Is that when he fought Bray Wyatt? So there he is. Confronts him in the ring. You don't know if it's Bray Wyatt. You don't know if it's the Fiend. It's good stuff. I like it. So look for that angle to build up. I guess it's going to be Bray Wyatt, the character that's going to fight Extreme Rules. Watch that they don't bring the Fiend back from SummerSlam. Who knows? You can't just get rid of a character like the Fiend.
I like that. I'm glad to see they do it again.
Yep. All right, well, next up, that ends the night on SmackDown. Looks like it'd be a good week next week. There he is right there in the Firehouse Funhouse. I love it. That's so good. Enjoying it. Good angle. There he is right there. The man. Fiend. Next up, AEW Dynamite. Just run through this one real quick. This was a great show. At the beginning of the show, you got Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, Jim Ross. I put this picture in the archive. Check this one out. That's where they are right there. Obviously, they're not before a big crowd like that. But check out this old shot that I found when they were with World Championship Wrestling.
I love it.
I love
it, man.
That was iconic. But either way, that was great. 2 great voices in wrestling. I guess Jim Ross from that point went on to be at WCW for a while. Then he went on to WWF, WWE, all that kind of stuff. Legend, Hall of Famer. Now he's at the AEW. So either way, I found that picture. That's pretty cool. Either way, next up, right out the gate, you had the AEW Tag Champions defending Kenny Omega, Hangman Page against the Natural Nightmares. I had no idea that your bunny person that you love so much. So she's now swinging for the Natural Nightmares. There she is.
That's correct. That's her.
That's her. Well, guess what? She did nothing. She did nothing for who was it? QT. What's his name? QT Marshall or whatever.
I guess.
Yeah, she didn't really do too help for him because the Tag Champions keep it. Kenny Omega, Hangman Page get the win over the Nitro Nightmares. Well, next week or come building up to the Fyter Fest, it looks like their tag championships are going to be defended against somebody, and I'm going to tell you who in a minute. Next up, this was the psychiest, craziest thing I've seen. They're building up Anna Jay, all excited that she's going to appear, and I'm going, she's just going to come out there, and I'm wondering who is she going to fight. It's probably just somebody she's going to squash, but she's going to fight this person, Abaddon, whatever. Check this chick out. Abaddon just destroys her. Imagine going home to that. That was pretty scary right there. That person right there took out Anna Jay, who they were building up as a big person. That woman right there, that's enough to scare you right there for sure. Happy Father's Day to that.
Yeah, I think that's Ozzy's housekeeper or something. I'm not really sure. That kind of freaked me out too.
That was nuts.
Looked like some Marilyn Manson reject.
That's exactly right. It's ex-Marilyn Manson fan. Next up, you had a A blast from the past. Billy Gunn taking on MJF. The second I saw this match, I'm going, man, Billy Gunn, I don't want him to have to lose to MJF, but you knew he was. Billy Gunn, gets his MJF works on his joints, his legs, his knees, whatever. Billy Gunn's limping around. MJF gets the win, of course. So that was pretty good. But
I want to see the Road Dogg so bad getting that ring, man. That would have been great. At a New Age Outlaws reunion, that would have been sweet.
Yep. And then next up, you had Cody Rhodes defending his TNT Championship against Ricky Starks over from NWA. There was an NWA TV champion. That was Ricky Starks at one point. I don't remember them even taking that belt from him, but I guess he got bigger money to come to AEW. So in his debut match, he's taking on Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. Doesn't go as well. He doesn't get the win, obviously. Cody gets the win there. So good debut for Ricky Starks. I thought it was a big bang right out the gate, but either way, Cody gets the win. Cody's going to go on to defend that belt at the Fyter Fest, and we'll go over the matches that we know in a second for the Fyter Fest. It's going to be on July the 1st and July the 8th, back-to-back weeks. Pay-per-view value on 2 consecutive Wednesdays. That's going to be great on TNT. Next up, you had the Young Bucks out there against Superbad Squad, which is Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. Of course, the Young Bucks are going to get the win there. But there they are with Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford is becoming a strength of her own. There she is right there. Check out that move. Producer Punk can do that right there.
Yeah, he can.
Oh, yeah, he can. He was doing that a little while ago before we started this show. He's out there. Let me show you this move. Squat. His arm is right now, too. Don't even ask.
I learned from the best, man. I learned from the best.
That's right. Well, Young Bucks get the win there. They'll be, they're going to be, they're going to be in the spotlight to probably go for the tag championship. And then next up, you have the number 1 tag title contenders. This is the guys who are going to get to fight Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. You had Best Friends versus La Sex Gods. That's a new name right there. Jericho and Sammy Guevara. The Sex Gods. But guess what? Sex Gods don't win it either way. I know that's another name Producer Bunks goes by, La Sex God. But either way, La Sex Gods don't get the win. Best Friends get it. So it looks like Best Friends with right there your Orange Cassidy. Good angle right there. So Orange Cassidy may be fighting Jericho. That's why that happened that way. Orange Cassidy will be fighting Jericho at Fyter Fest. And then his Best Friends tag team will be fighting Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Either way, that's a pretty good card going on. We've got a couple slides for the Fyter Fest. Check this out. This is on July the 1st, July the 9th, July the 8th. 2-night special, pay-per-view value. Check out some of these matches that we know of right now. The next one, Orange Cassidy against Jericho. That ought to be good. I doubt Orange Cassidy will be putting Jericho's hands in his pockets like he did before. And then you've got a women's championship defense, Kira Shida against Penelope Ford. I can't imagine Penelope Ford taking it from Kira Shida. Shida is just the bomb right now. So what's your take on that one?
I think the correct way to say it is Hikaru Shida.
That's right. So next up, another match we found out about. This is going to be a good one here. Jack Hager. Check the next slide. John Moxley, Brian Cage. We've been talking about that one for a couple weeks now. That's going to be pretty good. And then you've got next up, you got Jack Hager. Check it out. Dogs are so stoked about this one. That's what they can't.
That's my fault. I got those dogs barking. When I screamed Hikaru Shida, the dogs went crazy.
What's no picture? No picture for that one. No picture.
Oh, that one. Okay, got it. Go on to the next one. We're going to be – the Fyter Fest card is not set completely. They'll be talking about that for next weekend. They'll be setting it up, staging it up. So I think Jack Hager is going to be fighting Cody Rhodes. So we'll see what –
but that card is, of course, subject to change because it might take about 2 or 3 hours to rewind the tapes after the show. So, we got to be careful about that. They're always going to be subject to change. And sometimes those tapes take a long time to rewind.
That's right. That's right. Got to rewind.
Inside a joke.
So that's
Inside a joke.
This week's Dynamite show. And then on to the Independents. All right, we got some good news. We've been talking week after week about how this coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever the heck you want to call this bad thing going on in the world right now, how it's infected, how it's affected independent wrestling And we've been looking for weeks and weeks and weeks, trying to find some independent that's coming back online. And we've got one this week. We'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to go to the top right now. You've got ECPW that we've been following for a while. Check out their Facebook page. They posted a new video this week. It's called ECPW Adrenaline 2020. Check out some of the people that are on this video. You've got Spike Dudley. You've got Tito Santana. You've got Timothy Theory, who was on our show a couple weeks ago. These are some great matches, great content. When you're looking for wrestling and you need some good independent wrestling to watch, check out the ECPW Facebook page. They're posting videos. If they're not doing it weekly, they're doing it every other week, and it's good content, good stuff to watch. I mean, it's about an hour of content, maybe even more, with some good matches. You wonder where these people went. Tito Santana's on there. That was kind of cool to see Timothy Theory, who's been on our show too. So there it is, ECPW Adrenaline. Can't wait till they get back online. Next up, more local boys. We've got Wrestling 225. Right now, the only thing they've got planned for 2225 Mania, here's their champ right here. When he won the belt back in, I guess it was February when he won the belt, maybe January. I think it was February. He wins the belt. He hadn't had a chance to defend it yet, so he'll be defending, I'm sure, at 225 Mania. There he is, Corey Constantine. And then here's the lowdown on the Wrestling 225. It's going to be at the Doyle High School on August the 29th. Check it out right there. Tickets are available. Check out their Facebook page for tickets. I think you can buy them on Eventbrite. And then next up, you got WildKat Pro Wrestling. Their major announcement is they've got a show this Tuesday night, June 23rd. Check them out, 7 p.m. They built this match up. It's going to be for the Revolution Championship belt. You've got 4 guys going at it. They're going to be live on YouTube. Jay Spade, Chuck Divine, Jace Valor, and Nathan Bradley. Check it out. It's a fatal 4-way elimination match. Guaranteed new first-time Revolution champion. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be awesome. 7 p.m. Central, official WildKat Sports YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe so you'll get the notification. I'm getting the notification. I'll be watching it. I'll be reporting on it next week with the Iconics winning the championship. I don't know why I like saying like that. The Iconics. But either way, that runs down the independents that we know of. If there's others out there, reach out to us at ringsidewranglers@gmail.com. We'll be sure to cover it and plug it, talk about your matches, talk about the talent you have, all that kind of stuff. Anything you want to talk, come on the show. We'll talk it. Next up, we always got this weekly spin on the Performers of the Week. This week is sponsored again by Defense Shopper. They sell personal defense items. Enter code JackJaw. That's me, Jack Jaw. Enter that code. You get 20% off and you get free shipping. So protect yourself and protect your stuff with Defense Shopper. So I'm going to go to you, Haz-Bin. Who are your Performers of the Week? I've got a couple in mind. Who do you think?
If it's okay with you, I'm going to throw it back to you because this whole week I've been in Vern Gagne's boot camp for 6 miles running to get into wrestling shape. So I really haven't been paying attention to it that much. If you don't mind, I'm going to tag you back in and let you handle it this
All right.
week.
Who would you think I got Performer of the Week on Raw?
Randy Orton?
Randy Orton? Maybe. That's not a bad choice. You know, I've been saying it all day long. Iconics. Iconics, Performers of the Week. They're going to be the Performers of the next week when they win the belt. Iconics are my Performers of the Week on Raw. On NXT, I guess you got to give it to Imperium. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Imperium because they defend the belts in a buildup of all these tournament to wrestle it all up. And guess what? The Imperium keep the belts anyway, so the tournament was for naught. So Performer of the Week, I'm going to be Imperium. That's 2 back-to-back. Performers of the Week are tag teams. And then on SmackDown, you know who we got to give it to? Matt Riddle making his debut and taking out the Intercontinental Champion in a non-title match. But either way, Matt Riddle is my Performer of the Week. And
I'll do AEW.
And what's that?
I'll do AEW for you. I will do AEW for you.
All right, go ahead. Who's AEW Performer of the Week?
AEW is going to be the AEW is going to be the oh man, it just with a brain lock. 16 hours a day running and with Vern Gagne's kill me. The freak that we saw in the ring.
Oh, the freak girl, Abaddon?
Yeah.
There you go. For the week. Shock value. It's like, dude, you got to put that. That probably took her more time to put all that stuff on than it was for her match. But that woman was spooky looking. Abaddon, your performer of the week on Dynamite. And guess what? Our performer of the week in Independent World has got to be WildKat Wrestling, putting on a YouTube live show this week. YouTube, WildKat Wrestling, new Revolution Heavyweight Champion. That's the performer of the week. WildKat Pro Wrestling, Independent, down. Get it done. Get back in business. So stoked about it. That about does it for this week's show. Ringside Wranglers Report. Jack Shaw has been. Any final words? Has been.
No, like I said, it's a pretty rough week for me, but we got through it. And I'm praying Monday night we have all new champions because that would really make me want to start watching Raw again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Check us out, Ringside Wranglers. Like and comment, subscribe on the YouTube, the Facebook. Got any questions, need our help, need our promotion, anything like that, is at gmail.com. Don't forget our sponsor this week, defenseshopper.com. Jack Jaw's the code to get 20% off free shipping. I'm Jack Jaw. That has been. We're Ringside Wrangler Wrestling Report. We are out. See you next week.